So I have my front and my back completed, and the back is the one kind of towards the bottom. It's a little bit longer, and then the front is the one up top here.
And Maddie, I know you called it out last time, but Maddie did a little bit of a different ribbing on her.
Okay.
So if you're looking at hers and you're like, mine doesn't look like that, she's using, like she mentioned, a different cashmere yarn because she's allergic to this one. So that's why it looks different. Just to get ahead of the question, if anyone's curious.
Thank you. So, and I have my tapestry needle and I've threaded it with just, I have about 2 feet of yarn, which I don't think is going to be long enough, but we'll see. I just pulled it from one of my tails because I don't have like another ball of yarn open right now. So I'm actually going to turn this so that I will be working from like where the split starts on the body, kind of at like waist or hip level, and then I'll be working down like towards the ground if you were holding it up or wearing it. But in the video, it will look like I'm working upwards. Okay, so I have my back on the right and my front on the left. And we are going to be seaming these two together using the mattress stitch. And that is done from the right side. So I want to have my right sides facing out or like facing towards me. And I'm not going to worry about my tails just yet. And since this is started on the right side, I'm just going to like find where my split happens and kind of just begin kind of like a neutral beginning right there in the middle. And mattress stitch is done by picking up 2 bars from one side and then bringing the needle over and picking up 2 bars from the other side. So I'm going to find that first kind of row of knitting that goes across here. Seems to be that stitch. And I'm going to insert it. I like to skip like that very edge because it just makes it a little bit easier to find out where, because this is like, then this is a clear column of knitting. This is kind of like a wonky edge and you don't quite know what's going on. So I'm going to skip to that second column of knitting. And here I have 2 bars on my tapestry needle. And again, we're working down, but in the video, it looks like I'm working up. So then I'm going to insert front to back and pull the yarn. Some people like to pull really tight and some people like to wait until the end. It's up to you. And then I'm going to go over to the back and I'm going to find, again, that first kind of column. And I'm going to find those 2 bars again. And then pull my yarn through. Now that I have this kind of like all set up, ready to go, I'm just going to put my needle aside for a moment. And if you have safety pins, that's great. If you don't, you can also use double pointed needle. I am going to pin the very end of my hem together. So I'm going to find out, I'm going to like just line them up so that they meet and just pin these together so that they stay. And I'm going to have to stretch the front a little bit because the front is shorter. And I'm going to pin again just once in the middle. And actually, if you're using double pointed needle, you just can kind of just like stick it in there. So now we are going to continue doing the mattress stitch, and it's gonna take a little bit of finessing. So I've picked up 2 bars on the left and 2 bars on the right. And to make everything line up, you know, I might have to pick up 3 bars somewhere, or maybe only 1 bar somewhere just to make it a little bit more smooth. So, but I'm going to just kind of use my discretion, I guess. So the next time I want to do the mattress stitch, I'm going to find where my seaming yarn is coming from. And I'm going to insert my tapestry needle into that same hole and find those 2 bars. And then we're going to go over to the right side and that same hole where my yarn is coming from. I'll insert my tapestry needle and find the 2 bars. And then since the front is shorter, next time I do the mattress stitch, I don't want to take any more space of the front. Like I don't want to take any more fabric than I need to of the front because that's the shorter one. So I'm going to only take 1 bar this time. And then since the back is longer, on the back, I'm going to pick up 3 bars this time. So I'm going to find out where this one just came from, insert my needle into that same hole. And instead of picking up 2, I now have 3. And I'm keeping my needle when I pick up the 2 or 3 bars, I'm keeping it kind of in that same like column of knitting right here. I'm not going over to another column or anything. So because we want to like suck the back up to be a little bit shorter, that's where we're picking up more of the fabric. So I'm just going to pull this a little bit tight now so you can see. So the mattress stitch, when it's all finished, it should make this look pretty seamless. So, and then we will talk about weaving in ends in a second. So is it okay if I like cruise along and do this and I don't talk and we just watch? Yes, okay, cool. So I might do like another 2, just another set of 2, you know, so it's not too squished. So I did 2 bars on the left, 2 bars on the right. And so this, I can see here, this is kind of, this still needs some like sucking up towards the front or towards the top of the garment. So I'm only going to do 1 bar this time on the front. And then let's do 3 bars here on the back. And this may also be like the picking up stitches where it's kind of trial and error, where you need to be like, oh, I need to pick up 1 bar and then 3 bars, you know, a couple more times because they're still not equal in length, or I need to do it a smaller amount of times. So there's no clear like formula, but it's a learning process.
Can I just ask some of this, Teresa?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm confused because won't the back always just be longer? Like, because they're actually gonna join at the bottom, or you're just sort of joining on the side, and that's why it's.
Yep. So we're joining along the side, and then like it will be longer, but since we're kind of like sucking it up to the same length as the front, it'll make that like seamless line from front to back.
Yeah, it's what creates like the crescent shape that the sweater gets.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember from like when I showed you guys the first time, it kind of goes like up and then back down in the front. So it creates like kind of a cool hemline to do it that way. Maddie's doing a little bit of tailoring. That's this part. This little tiny seaming is like the tailoring of the garment. I personally love people might like think I'm crazy, but I love seaming the mattress stitch. I like knitting, and I do like knitting in the round, but I find like doing the mattress stitch like so relaxing.
Okay, so here you can see this, I totally overshot. I like sucked up way too much of my back, and I have like a whole inch like left, or not a whole inch, but like, you know, a good amount. But you know what? I'm gonna pick up 2 that used to be the back, or it still is the back. What am I talking about? And then I'm just gonna pick up 3 this next time at the front. It's really kind of just trial and error. It might take a few tries, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I am just going to fudge it a little bit because it's gonna be my sweater anyway. So.
And also too, as long as it looks like a
Yeah, exactly.
mattress stitch, it really does not matter.
So now I'm back to picking up 2 bars, 2 bars, 2 bars, and here I'm at the very end. This is actually the very end. So I'm gonna go right through that bind off stitch if I can. There we go. And that will be like my very last bar, quote unquote. And then the same thing on the back. And then we can tighten it all up.
It looks so pretty.
Excited. And now it looks like they were all knitted together. And there might be like a little bit of a pucker, or the ribbing might look a little strange, but it'll all kind of, this is like the first time you're telling the fabric to do that. And then once you like leave it seamed and the fabric is like, okay, this is where we're gonna be now, awesome. So now comes the fun part of weaving in ends.
Maddie, from your view on the camera, is there
Yeah.
a way to like back up so people can kind of see the way that the curve is?
Yeah.
And also too, once
like
you finish the seaming on that side, you can take your steam iron, like an iron with steam, and put a towel over it, and you can like steam the ends. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if okay, yeah, this view of me is pinned, but as it kind of goes from front to back,
it's hard to tell like flat, but
I know it's hard.
Once you put it on the body, it makes sense.
Once I like hold the correct part of the sweater up.
Yeah. And once you're wearing it, you'll see that it kind of like curves down.
Yeah.
So.
And Maddie, this is Anne. When you were doing the mattress stitch, did you say you kind of picked up 1 row in?
I did, yeah. It's
okay.
just because sometimes like if you don't like slip the stitch at the beginning, or I don't know, I feel like the very edge stitch always looks a little wonky on flat knitting unless you do something special to it. So I just like to like really know where I'm picking up those bars.
Does that create like bulk on the inside? I mean, mine just seems like my row in seems like, I guess it's hard to tell the darker color, but it seems like, I guess far, or not too much.
It wasn't too bulky.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, I mean, you know, since it's a sweater, it's going to be a little bit bulky, but it also is like, it's only that 5 or 6 inches, however long you decided to make your ribbing. I wouldn't worry about the bulk. If you are uncomfortable with the bulk, you can try and pick up bars from that very edge stitch. I mean, just me personally, I just find I like to keep track of where I'm seaming. So
I did that because I don't usually like that bulk when I seam seams. I've had that issue before. So I did the edge stitch, and you're right, yours looks more seamless. I can show what mine looks like, and you can sort of see it from the top. And I was like a one off on the bottom, but I will loop that around in that, tuck that around and back in.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.